Welcome to Nature Walk, the podcast where we delve into the wonders of the natural world. I'm your host, David, and I'm excited to share with you a fascinating story that's been making waves in the scientific community. Today, we're going to talk about cloning, a technology that has been around for decades, but still holds many secrets and surprises. You may remember Dolly the sheep, the first mammal to be cloned from an adult cell back in 1996. Since then, scientists have been experimenting with cloning various species, including mice, dogs, and even primates. But a recent study has revealed some startling findings that could change our understanding of this technology. Researchers at Japan's Riken Center for Developmental Biology have been working on cloning mice using a technique called nuclear transfer, where the nucleus of an adult cell is transferred into an empty egg cell. They've been successful in cloning mice for multiple generations, but what they found was unexpected. As they continued to clone the mice, the success rate started to fall, and by the 58th generation, none of the clones survived. To understand what was going on, the team sequenced the genomes of the cloned mice and found that there were more than 70 mutations per clone generation, 3 times as many as seen in naturally reproducing mice. These mutations started to build up over time, leading to serious health problems and eventually the death of the clones. So, what's causing these extra mutations? The researchers believe that it could be due to the nuclear transfer process itself, which may be damaging the DNA. Alternatively, it's possible that adult cells simply accumulate more mutations over time, and when we clone them, these mutations are passed on to the next generation. This study has significant implications for our understanding of cloning and its potential applications in medicine and conservation. While human cloning is still a highly controversial and regulated field, researchers are exploring the use of nuclear transfer to generate matching tissues or organs for medical treatments. As we continue to push the boundaries of this technology, it's essential to consider the potential risks and unintended consequences. The findings of this study serve as a reminder that there's still much to be learned about the complexities of cloning and the natural world. We'll be right back with more fascinating stories from the natural world on Nature Walk. Welcome back to Nature Walk. I'm your host, David. Today, we're exploring some fascinating stories from the natural world. In our previous segment, we delved into the intricate world of cloning and the challenges scientists face in replicating life. Now, let's shift our focus to a book that has had a profound influence on our understanding of evolution and behavior, The Selfish Gene, by Richard Dawkins. Published over 4 decades ago, The Selfish Gene revolutionized the way we think about evolution, genes, and the natural world. Dawkins, an ethologist by training, presented a compelling argument that genes are the primary drivers of evolution and that organisms are essentially vehicles for these genes to propagate themselves. This idea, though not new at the time, was eloquently articulated by Dawkins, making it accessible to a broad audience. The central theme of the selfish gene is that genes are selfish molecules that strive to survive and replicate, often at the expense of other genes or even the organism itself. This concept challenged traditional views of evolution, which emphasized the role of individuals and species in the evolutionary process. Dawkins's work built upon the foundations laid by Charles Darwin, George Williams, and W.D. Hamilton, among others, who mathematically described how evolution operates through changes in genetic variant frequencies. One of the criticisms leveled against Dawkins is that he oversimplified the concept of genes and their role in evolution. While it's true that DNA does not work alone, and that a cell's components act in symphony to produce a phenotype, Dawkins's metaphor of selfish genes has been incredibly influential in shaping our understanding of evolutionary biology. As we reflect on the selfish gene today, it's striking how the metaphor of selfishness underplays the role of cooperation and symbiosis in life. Dawkins himself acknowledges this aspect, but the power of his metaphor is such that this aspect is often neglected. Nevertheless, the book remains a seminal work that has inspired generations of biologists and non-biologists alike. As we continue to explore the natural world, it's essential to consider the complexities of evolution, genetics, and behavior. The selfish gene may have its limitations, but its impact on our understanding of the biological world is undeniable. Join me next time as we delve into more fascinating stories from the world of science and nature. Welcome back to Nature Walk. I'm your host, David. As we conclude today's journey, I want to take a moment to shift our focus from the natural world to the human experience. A remarkable story has caught my attention, one that highlights the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of compassion in our society. You may have heard about David Henao Jimenez, a 9-year-old boy who was detained at an immigration detention center with his parents. Despite the challenging circumstances, David's determination and passion for learning shone through. He had been preparing for his state spelling bee and was desperate to attend. During a video call with children's entertainer Miss Rachel, David shared his concerns and pleaded to be released from detention so he could pursue his dreams. What struck me about this story is the way it intersects with the themes we often explore on Nature Walk. Just as the natural world requires balance and harmony to thrive, human societies also rely on empathy and understanding to function. David's situation serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of treating all individuals with dignity and respect, regardless of their background or circumstances. Fortunately, David's story has a positive outcome. He and his family were released from detention on humanitarian parole, and he is now free to return to school and pursue his love of spelling. This outcome is a testament to the power of advocacy and the impact that individuals can have when they raise their voices for justice. As we reflect on David's story, I'm reminded of the interconnectedness of our world. The natural environment and human societies are intricately linked, and our actions have consequences that ripple out in complex ways. By cultivating compassion, empathy, and understanding, we can create a more just and harmonious world for all beings. That's all for today's Nature Walk. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, keep exploring your natural world.